Civic is a program that seeks to take technologies and science that have been developed in labs and by researchers and help bring it into communities by explicitly working with communities as full partners.
Much of NSF is about bringing together the best people, the best ideas, letting them explore those ideas and produce the outcomes that they imagine. But in Civic, we turn it around. We say, look, let's identify a problem in the real world where your ideas can actually have an impact.
And I see Civic as an example of helping to create innovation everywhere and also bringing everyone into the science process. So our Civic community partners, they are innovating for their problems that they see in their own communities, so they can bring into the science process local context, local ideas, and really help us take and innovate in lots of different places rather than sort of our most traditional places that see innovation.
Support them to implement those ideas, but do it in a finite deadline, a year, to say, look, bring it to fruition and show that impact and then transition it to a local community or a local government to take it over.
I really like the Civic Innovation Program because it has focused on that civic partnership. It is focused on storytelling as well, which allows us to amplify the impact that we're trying to have.
I think one element of this project also is that not only we're talking about community engagement, but also community sort of co-creation of the knowledge. So when you think about some of the educational components, we actually had young people in our city take part in identifying and defining what does resilience mean for them, what does strengths mean for them as it relates to some of the landmarks.
It's brought a lot of impact. It's brought a lot of, first and foremost, education to staff and residents about what low-impact development is.
Really introducing them to technology and not being afraid of it and being able to use it for the benefit. Again, I'm happy that they're taking it from theory to practice and getting it out there.
Because we had these seeds of these ideas beforehand, and that's what we presented in stage one, but then having that time in stage one to get to stage two really helped us flesh it out and really helped us develop that messaging that we wanted and create that vision. So I like that two-stage process.
Creating technology in a vacuum only gets you so far. Actually being in partnership with creating the technology, assessing it from a social science perspective, in partnership with municipal partners and with other community-based organizations is kind of critical. That's where it becomes actionable, where it all becomes real, and where ultimately it becomes transformative.
Without Civic, we wouldn't have had the opportunities that we've had or the funding that we've gotten to really push this to where it's gotten to. Through Civic, we're able to support six employees. These 6 are people who are actively coding, actively working on the robotics, designing hardware, coming up with innovations, interfacing with clients. They're doing all of the things that a successful startup needs to do in order to move from just research to an actual commercially viable product. And none of this would be possible without Civic.
And moving forward to the future, it will become a template for other similar projects to be done at different scales, which is very cool.
We know that any successful deployment of new technologies does require a public-private partnership and a myriad of stakeholders to make that successful. Certainly Civic brings that to the table.
We can't achieve homeland security if we don't partner with communities, if we don't partner with society in general. I think what is underappreciated in the Civic Innovation Challenge is that it's also about building communities of practice. And one of the things that we're extremely excited about isn't just the solutions and the tangible outcomes you can see, but it's the generational development of that community of practice that will help strengthen those communities in coping and dealing with disasters and threats going forward, which then complements and strengthens Homeland Security's mission.
I hope that Civic will accelerate the process of taking interesting technology and science ideas out of labs and getting them into sectors and places that have typically lagged in the adoption of technology.
So my hope is that Civic, by identifying problems that have real impact on real people in our communities, develop solutions that not just get produced and given to those communities, but they're so important to those communities that they continue to invest and they scale and grow and evolve those projects. And it really becomes part of that community, not just now, but into the future.